Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about one of my stock picks for the month, a company that also ARK Invest and Kathy Wood started investing massively this exact week. So today I will talk about a highly requested stock, Salesforce stock, ticker symbol CRM. We'll analyze their quarterly reports, overview of the company, their new acquisition Slack, and see how this acquisition could affect or benefit the company. As always, if you are new to my channels, consider subscribing and dropping a like since it really helps the channel out with the algorithm. Also, I have a completely free Discord group chat, which the link for that is down in the description below. Also, I wanted to tell you guys that I think this week will be my last Sunday financial news video since I'm planning to restructure the channel. But first, wanted to know what you guys think. I will continue posting 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Let me know in the comment section below. Salesforce is currently trading at $220.57 per share at pre-market hours and has a market cap of $201.8 billion. As I mentioned, this is one of my 4 stock picks for the month and already started a tiny position yesterday after that 3% drop. It currently represents about 5% of my portfolio, but I do want to tell you guys that I will increase my position with time, even if it goes up a bit. But I'll talk more about my position later on the video. Now, what is Salesforce and what they do? Salesforce is a cloud computing service company. It is a software that facilitates everything for companies. They basically give all the departments, marketing, sales, commerce, and service a single view of every single client, which means that they are more of a customer relationship management solution company, and that is where their ticker symbol CRM came from. According to their stats, their customers have seen 36% more sales productivity, 26% more deals, 28% increase in sales, and 38% better forecasting. Now, software companies tend to do a lot of acquisitions, in which some are excellent acquisitions while others might not get properly leveraged. Salesforce is a company that has done tons and tons of acquisitions over years, very successful acquisitions to be honest, and one more expensive than the other. The bar keeps rising when investors look at Salesforce's biggest acquisition ever. Its purchase of ExactTarget in 2013 was followed by e-commerce platform Demandware in 2016 and MuleSoft in 2018. Then Salesforce joined up $15.7 billion in an all-stock deal to buy data analytics Tableau last year, which in my opinion is excellent since all or almost all of their acquisitions have done pretty well for Salesforce and they have been able to expand as a company. And then came Slack. They acquired Slack for $27.7 billion. Slack shareholders will receive $26.79 billion in cash and 0.0776 shares of Salesforce common stock for each Slack share. Salesforce expects to fund cash portion of the transaction with a combination of new debt and cash from their balance sheet, which they have more than enough. Now, is this a smart move? Well, according to their CEO, customers are restructuring the way they work. People are now working, selling, and providing services from everywhere. They think this acquisition will help them expand and grow even more. It is a huge bet, but I do want to see how it will fit their business. Still, we have to accept that Salesforce has created value throughout their acquisitions and Slack might be part of that growth. Since Slack itself was growing at a great rate already. They have been beating analyst expectations for the last quarters and their revenue have had an excellent growth of between 50 to 80% year over year, which is incredible. Now, let's talk about their quarter report. But first, remember that Webull has a limited time offer that will expire in 4 days, in which you're able to get 4 free stock after you open an account with them and deposit $100. So it's basically free money. I got only 2 free stocks when I opened my account with them, so you're doubling what I got. The link for that is the first one in the description below. Salesforce has had a very nice revenue growth in the past quarters and years. Their subscription and support segment grew 20% year over year and have had an excellent growth in the last 9 months as well, which is 94% of the revenue. The other 6% comes from professional services and others. Something I really like about this company is their margins. Look at this. They spent $1.06 billion to make $5.08 billion or $5.09 billion. That is insane. Look at it in the last 9 months. They spent only $3 billion to make $14.5 billion. That is the dream, and that is why, in my opinion, this company or this stock is trading at such elevated levels. This is exactly why they have been able to make such excellent acquisitions over time. They had an excellent gross profit of $4.03 billion, and then after all their expenses and others, they reported a net income of $1.25 billion, which obviously looks incredible in comparison to the same quarter last year. But to be a little more conservative or a little more fair with this comparison, let's take a look to their income from operations instead, since they had some huge gains on strategic investments this last quarter that didn't have last year nor previous quarters. As you can see, they had an excellent quarter since they reported income from operation of $224 million, and the last year only $65 million. Now, in the last 9 months, this was the best quarter since they had income from operation of $262 million, and $224 million of that were from this last quarter only. Now, it has decreased in comparison to the last 9 months in 2019, since they spent a lot more in marketing this year. Now, on their balance sheet, they have over $9 billion between cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities, which has increased since January 2020. They have total assets of $59.1 billion and total liabilities of $18.8 billion, which obviously it looks incredible, but Salesforce has over $26 billion in goodwill, which I sometimes do not like to take into consideration, since that is an intangible asset associated with some acquisitions that they have done in the past. And almost 50% of their assets are tied to goodwill. Now, we do have to take into consideration that even though they only have a very small debt, that will increase because of their Slack acquisition as well as their goodwill. Still, overall, without goodwill and everything, they still have an excellent balance sheet. They have plenty of cash and assets to be able to close their deal with Slack. Now, as I said at the beginning, I opened a small position yesterday. It currently represents 4.47% of my portfolio, and I have an average cost of $221.28 per share, and I'm down 0.58%. But I will add more to my position with time, or at least that is the plan. And if it continues dropping, I will average down as well, since I think this company has excellent growth long-term potential. Also, Cathie Woods and ARK Invest started buying this stock this exact same week in their ARKW ETF, which is the ARK Next Generation Internet ETF, in which they have been adding Palantir as well since last month. Right now, Salesforce represents less than 1% in their portfolio, but as you can see, they have sold Slack shares and started buying Salesforce shares. Actually, they just yesterday sold over 460,000 shares of Slack and currently have over 28,000 remaining. They have invested $45 million in Salesforce, which are over 205 million shares, and I'm sure, or I think, that they will continue adding to their position with time, and I will definitely keep track of that. Obviously, people are concerned that Slack deal was too high, since yes, they paid 24 times next year's sales, which is insane, but Salesforce might build an entirely new way for Slack and make it a very successful acquisition, because Salesforce has so much experience in acquiring companies and correctly integrating it into their own company. I think this Slack acquisition is a win-win for both companies, since it might not only transform Slack but also Salesforce. With this acquisition, Salesforce confirms that it is trying to keep pace with Microsoft with their Azure Office 365, which is used by very similar customers on Salesforce, so this will definitely help them stay competitive and be able to continue growing as a company. Take into consideration that Salesforce is trying to be in the top tier tech giants, and that is what their acquisitions are going to take them. Obviously, you already know that I started a position in this stock and will continue buying, but would really like to know what you guys think about Salesforce, about their Slack acquisition and their constant growth. Have you invested in them, or are you planning to? Let me know in the comment section below. I do have to say that I do expect this company to continue posting excellent revenue growth throughout the years, since they are in a very high demand industry, but I'm not a financial advisor, so I do recommend you guys do your due diligence before investing in this stock. Thank you everyone for watching. Please smash that like button and subscribe, since it really helps the channel out with the algorithm. Also remember about the completely free Discord group chat, which the link for that is out in the description below, as well as the limited offer with Webull for 4 free stock. Thank you and see you next time.